From NBC News, this is Today with Matt Lauer and Savannah Guthrie, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
Well, a new reality show being launched by Lifetime is bound to make a lot of people raise their eyebrows. It centers on natural childbirth, but this is taken to the extreme. They're talking about childbirth that takes place outdoors. Here's NBC's national correspondent, Kate Snow.
This YouTube video of a woman having her fourth child at a creek in a rainforest has more than 20 million hits. We won't show the gory details. But want to see more? Lifetime hopes so. The network says an upcoming reality show, Born in the Wild, will showcase moms giving birth outdoors in decidedly non-clinical settings. It's still very rare for American women to have a baby outside a hospital, only 1% of births. But the numbers are on the rise. Celebrities like singer Alanis Morissette have brought attention to the trend. She spoke with us back in September about her home birth.
I think what is happening, though, is there's a hearkening back to the naturalness of midwifery and the naturalness of doing it at home.
Most births outside a hospital setting are at home, and usually with a trained professional like a midwife or doula.
I've seen an increase in home birth for people that maybe don't have a great birth experience or are looking for a different experience.
Debbie will be helping Melissa Brandt have her baby at a birth center that's attached to the Hudson Valley Hospital Center.
You can never stick with a plan 100%. It always changes. So if you trust your doctor and you know they're making the right decision for you and the health of your baby, then you trust them and you listen to them.
Lifetime's senior vice president says their show will feature only women who've had a baby before, with an ambulance and at least an EMT on site during production.
Home birth can be a choice for certain types of patients who are low risk, who have less chance of they don't have any complications during the pregnancy. And I think that is an option for some people.
For Today, Kate Snow, NBC News, New York.
Well, let's get more on this with Dr. Evelyn Minaya. She's an OBGYN in New Jersey. Dr. Minaya, good to see you.
Good to see you also.
The reality show premise might be a little unusual, but home births are really rising dramatically. Why do you think that is?
I think it's people are kind of dissatisfied, well, at least in the past, with their birth experiences. But I will tell you, hospitals have now really changed their birth experiences. They're taking the home into the hospital setting in which you can sit on a ball, you can bond with your baby, you can latch immediately afterwards. It's the medicine part of it has taken out with the option of safety options for you. And you know what? Listen, I've done over 3,000 deliveries, and this true, okay? You never know. Just because you've had 3 other uneventful deliveries doesn't mean that you cannot be prepared for this one.
Well, let's bottom line it. I mean, do you think it's safe to do an at-home birth? Obviously with a midwife?
Yes, you know something, I think midwives are wonderful, but they're still not surgeons. And in a crucial emergency, you might not have enough time to get to the hospital. So isn't it wonderful? And like, for example, in our small community at Revere Medical Center, we have a wonderful staff that is very willing to do everything that you want to do, okay, and then some. So like I said, you can sit in a bowl, experience all the things that you do at home with that safety.
That's one of the appeals of the home birth. The other thing you hear is people feel like hospitals, doctors are too quick to do an intervention or a C-section. Is that a fair criticism?
That sort of, okay? It depends on what we're talking about. You know what? We are trained to save lives, okay? So just like midwives are trained to save lives. And if you go back in history, what if you do get stuck? You know, who's going to take care of you then? If you're willing to accept those risks, that's fine. However, there are options for you, and that relationship with your OB is number one.
That's what I was going to get to. You feel like that's what's the most important thing, is to have a good line of communication with your doctor.
Right, and speak out. Say what you want, okay? And trust me, it does look good on paper, but when you have like a birth plan, well, I don't want any payment relief and everything else, when it comes down to it, at least you have that option. It's not going to be given to you unless you ask. Autonomy. You can ask for what you want as long as you're in a safe environment. Okay. For the what ifs.
Just curious, will they bring a chocolate milkshake if that's what I want?
Yes, yeah, and for the doctor too, by the way. Okay, so whenever you want to, Savannah, I'll be ready for you.
Dr. Minaya, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And we'll head over to Matt.